Hello and welcome once again for some goddamn reason to Nerf Check. I don't know why you're all here, but I'm here with John. I am here with Ray. You all miss Bear. Maybe you should get here earlier the next time. And we are here with the man of the hour, a guy that we really enjoy having around. He's been on a couple of times. Harry, how you doing today, buddy? The other two I don't care about.
Thanks, Ben. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for covering Northern Alliance and Halflings too. Speaking of previews.
Well, thank you.
We appreciate it.
I hope we did a half decent job, and we didn't do it.
Mediocrity.
We gave our very best medium effort, so
definitely half decent.
Well, Ray, why are we all here today?
Well, we're here because Harry has listened to every podcast that has come out, and he has created 2 amazing articles where he identifies every single unit that has been noted to date on all the various podcasts and how they fit in 4th edition. So our plan was to reflect on what's come to date. You have some questions. Harry's going to talk about what he's discovered, and then we're going to go through those lists quickly.
Well, also,
let's get into it.
God's work at this point in time. Like the amount of people, I have shared this with the Quebec guys. I've shared this with our northern, our Ontario chat group and that, and everybody is just like loving the fact that they do not have to look this shit up because we're all lazy gamers when it all comes down to it. Apparently, you are not, Harry. I mean, like, what the hell? You're raising the standard of what the rest of us do not want to go up to.
Yeah, it's making everybody look bad. I think that I was already I didn't listen to all of these podcasts before. So like Mantic Universe podcast and Tales from the Warrior Hall, nailed it. I didn't listen to these before. It's cool to be cued into them. Maybe that was the point. I don't know. But like Goonhammer, I think I'm the only person that reads Goonhammer.
Sorry, guys. Battletech. I read it for the Battletech articles.
Yeah, I think I read everything there. But I'm one of tens of readers of their Kings of War content.
Hey. Some things are sacred, okay?
Tens are great. Tens of readers are great. So, I started doing this, I'm pretty sure for myself, because I couldn't track what was happening, and I deeply wanted to know. I also assumed that we were going to hear about all of them. So once I started, I think on my website, which is blood-fire.com, you can see that I'm like, oh, we're going to get like 18 of them, right? All right, we're going to do 3 parts. And then on the second part, I'm like, guys, this is the last one. There's only 5 more. So it's fine. I'm happy Mantic did it. As I say, they didn't need to. Mantic could have left us in the dark. So I'm happy to know anything. And I think we've learned stuff like about what the expansions are going to be like and what like legacy armies like Undead and Orcs. Like I think we've learned something there. Even the ones we haven't seen. I would have loved to have seen dwarfs. I want to see them get kneecapped. I also play free dwarfs. Who will not I don't know what that means, right? But with Northern Alliance, we saw a little bit, right, of Ranger.
Yeah.
So like we have some idea that we mean, I think. There's a little bit of like I guess the like larger look. I'd said before we started that like when Twilightkin dropped, I was actually in Canada, and so I didn't make the fancy little breakdown. And my brother messages me, and he was like, "Hey, where'd you get those like breakdowns from? I haven't seen the Twilightkin one." And I was like, "Bro, I make them. Okay, it's me. I'm the guy." Like. So I'm happy that you spread them around. It's funny to hear about people getting them. I dropped them on the Kings of War forum. That's usually where I hang out. Fanatics really is overwhelming. I spent more time today on Fanatics, and like the level of like agita is so
brave.
High.
That's like, brave of you to spend time there.
I just because I dropped my things in there, right? And I was like, hey, you guys should probably look at this if you want. But I do remember like it was actually like Nick Scabetta. He commented that like I'm just going to check in January because I can't track all this like content that's just like leaking out. Like he was actively frustrated. So I was like, okay, like I'm doing work that other people are going to find valuable rather than just me processing what changed, right? Which is why I started doing this, I think.
Well, I mean, Nick is agitated on the best day. Like, let's be honest here. He's quite a nice man. Never. No, that's not fair.
Oh.
Nick is a regular to come up to play against us and that. But yeah, he has been a little, and I mean, rightfully so. The drip feed that we've been getting has been different. I'm gonna go with. I mean, it would have been nice to have just had a bunch of drops, but like you said, it may just be so that all of us get a look in. I mean, I haven't heard our podcast's name said so many times in so many different places this often ever. I mean, when I was listening to the most recent Unplugged Gamers, and they must have mentioned us about 15 times, which was really nice of them. So thank you, Unplugged guys, and Greg and Mike and the two Corys, and that was absolutely fantastic. And I'll mention them as many times as I possibly can. But that's where I got turned on to, where with you putting this up, was they had mentioned you, and I was like, I'm going to message Harry while listening to this episode because I wanted to take a look down at this, because even I really do love this game. I really do like playing a lot of this game, but my God, trying to listen to a podcast and go, okay, what was core again? What was this? That's like, you've got a lot more patience than I ever will have, and I've had 2 kids, so I don't know how the hell you do this.
Yeah, some are definitely more challenging. This is not to slag
No.
Marvel Mantic Universe podcast. It's a rough one. I think I listened to they did Trident Realms, right? I listened to that a few times, and all of these I listen at faster than normal speed, and I'll like stop. And I think I got stuff. I mean, I think I got most things. But I actually was just listening to their Salamander, because we got a double tap on Salamanders. So I tried to listen, because there's a new character whose name, Tales of the Warrior Hall, do not know how to pronounce or spell. And I don't either, obviously. So I tried to find it, and I could not scrub through that 2-hour podcast of Mantic Universe. And I was just like, I think I'm just going to go with what I got. Right, which is some questionable spelling. Some of the stuff, the Salamanders one, I was on the wiki for Panathor, which I've never been to, and I was like, these characters, I think, are characters in the book, right? So I'm like double checking phonetic spellings, and so like I think I have the Salamander names right, but that's because I'm like collating like a wiki for novels I've not read. But I think we got there in the end. I wanted to ask, so you guys chose Northern Alliance and Halflings? No?
Kind of.
Okay.
They were on our list of requested.
We put up 4, and these were the 2 we were given.
Yeah.
And I will give a shout out to Countercharge and Rob, because he was the one who put us in contact with Mantic to even get those 2. So thanks to Rob, we were able to even put up our request. We wanted to do Trident Realm because Ben and I played Trident Realm, Forces of Abyss because me, Northern Alliance for John, and Halflings was because that was to be my future baby, which maybe like I already bought the Mantic army, so I have a complete Mantic Halfling army sitting in boxes. So I was like, I want to get the Halfling stuff early so I can know what to build. And they gave us Northern Alliance and Halflings, and I was really happy doing Northern Alliance and really sad doing Halflings.
But let's be honest, though. I'm sorry, but the grandpa in the wheelchair, I need to find a use of that thing. That's just I like that. I like that model. I keep saying
Grandpa Dragon.
I like Grandpa Dragon.
Yeah, I like Gimpy Grandpa. So Corey Wallitzer hates it. And Jason Willits and I, I'm just gonna make an army of 3. And then I was like, what if I just used it as like it's a whole, put 3 on a base, it's a horde, and just like make a boomer. Anyway, so we were just gonna go so hard to torment Corey, and then Corey's like, I'll kill all of them. Mantic wins in the end.
You know what? I think I could get one and put it in my Forces of the Abyss as an Archfiend, because it like shoots fire, so that kind of
I
fits.
think we all might need one if we're all going down to Dead of Winter, which is sponsored by the Shambling Horde. That will be at the end of January, run by Mr. Mike Rossi, and I'm sure Corey will be there. So this might be something that we all need one of, just to make sure that somebody has one to play against in every single round.
It'll just fill him with joy.
So Dead of Winter will be the 23rd to the 25th of January. Link is not out, so it's not going to be in the show notes, but a link to Harry's website with all of his lovely previews will be in the notes. So if you don't want to listen to us and you just want to read, you can go ahead and skip this discussion.
But listen to us in the background anyway, because, the numbers are nice to have.
Well, we have to get to the 10s. So shall we... what's been your thoughts about the list to date, Harry? Because when I was going through the 6 lists we're going to talk about tonight, I noticed some general trends on what makes core in every army, and I want to know if your observation and my observation is the same.
Yeah, so I think we saw 11 in the end, right? And I was surprised pretty immediately by how much cav there is in core. I really thought that we were looking at the infantry edition. It's always like hailed as the infantry edition, whatever the next one is. And immediately, goblins were the first that I saw. And goblins have flea bags in core, so you could do fully mounted if you were a crazy person. I'm a little tempted. I love a goblin mounted army. But across the board, I think you could see a lot of cav options. Northern Alliance don't.
No.
That's so infantry-y. So like way more fast core than I thought. I'd say more core choices. Night Stalkers was really surprising. I don't think we're talking about it tonight, but that was like 6 core choices and they're all good. Or it's 5 and then you can put fiends in there too. And I was genuinely shocked. I did see in my brief time on Fnatic tonight, somebody was complaining about core and if core is bad, and someone was like, if you want good core, just play Night Stalkers because everything looks like it's good. So the great core conundrum, that was the thing. I'll say now, looking back, I didn't understand why is a warlord good, besides the fact that it might change some stuff. Well, we've learned warlords have 2 unit strength. Warlords cast their command on a 3. Warlord, the whole package has coalesced a bit around why a warlord, because you don't have to take one, right? You could just take champs, and so why pay the warlord tax on top of the core tax? There's a lot of taxes that people are talking about. I found it less restrictive than I thought. I thought it was going to be really rough.
Nah, it's not that bad to actually build an army you want to play. From from everything I've looked at so far, you'll still be largely able to play the army lists that you want to play.
Yeah.
So
for me, only my rock army, right, which is just rocks that unlock. There's no way in hell. I say that though, but the salamanders have a fire elemental, dude, right? So I was
you might be fine.
Yeah, it might happen. I'm also fine if I'm forced to paint roughly 45 dwarfs. I could write 3 regiments or something. But what else? General thoughts. What do you got, Ray?
So, similar idea. I was surprised that almost every single army has the obligatory cavalry option. Normally, it's the lighter cavalry instead of the full-on mounted knights. They all seem to have generic infantry choice. They have a generic archer choice. Northern Alliance are a bit special because their generic archer choice is the pack hunters, which are really good. But the Northern Alliance miss the cav option. And most of them have spearmen as an option or access to spears. Undead was the one that I noticed that was missing the skeleton spearmen. So that was a bit of a surprise.
I think they're on there. I think you can't take 2-handed weapons anymore.
Okay.
I think that's the thing.
But
I'm not sure about that, but hey, it's almost like we can check this because somebody's put all this stuff up.
So I thought it was pretty regimented where everyone has access to the same stuff, and thinking about it and having a bit more time to go on it. I know they have their formula. I know they're trying to push like everything is balanced. I almost wish that they had unbalanced core infantry and said like whatever formula we came up with, like let's lower it by 10% to like really emphasize the core choice instead of trying to manipulate whatever you want to get into core, or to minimize the number of core choices you take so you can maximize special and support. But we won't know that till we get the points at the end of the day as to how true that is. But that's my hope, is that core infantry, the base infantry, which is in every list, is cheap as chips, to use a British expression.
Yeah, I guess other commentary on like category changes. So we know large infantry lost 2 attacks unless you're ogres. As time has gone on and we see more, it actually makes me respect ogres more and more. That you have 18 attacks, right? Like it means the math is the same. It's like the safe choice is to just stick with your ogre army if you have one. I've perennially not made an ogre army, but I'm always tempted. I own a mantic one that I've not made. But like infantry hordes seem really good. And no podcast has really commented heavily on this. Like all the nerve is basically like +1. A lot of 24s now, right? And they're all cheaper. Like when you go to horde, you lose.
They get significantly cheaper.
4 unit strength. Yeah, like quite a bit. And I guess it's because we're all looking at like I gotta spam regiments to unlock. But like, what if hordes of infantry is good?
Oh, I think hordes of spearmen is going to be where it's at, because if the cav is optional, being -1 to hit and losing all your thunderous, where cav has gone predominantly to thunderous, and a lot of them have lost their crushing strength, spears will have a place on the battlefield.
Yep.
Well, sorry. When John was writing up his list, I mean, he's got 3 hordes, and he was like, "I'm just going to put those in there." He's like, "This still feels good." So that's a little scary. I mean, if John thinks hordes still feel good, they
Hordes
probably
are still good.
are. But
yeah, you're taking these are like tribal dudes, right? Those hordes.
Yeah.
I would probably do 1 Naiad horde still, because park it in terrain if you get to with ensnare is still going to be a bear to deal with, and then 2 of the just tribal dudes, because they're 25 attacks, crushing 1, melee 3, speed 5, big nerve, defense 5. You could upgrade them to crushing 2 if you wanted to. I think you still have the option, but I'd leave them at crushing 1 and just maul people with them.
Yeah, I think they were scary before, and
they were. I've used them before, and they were great.
Yeah, and I guess so. Regiments have dropped to 2 unit strength. So I mean, part of the magic of regiment spam. This is a thing that I was always playing with a little bit. I always wanted to take 10 regiments. It was just a checkerboard approach. I always wanted to do it. And every edition, I would make a spreadsheet, and I would crush the numbers on what is the spammable unit in the whole game. And in second, it was what are they called? The tribal
long axe?
The
More
herd
axe?
The herd dudes who had
Longhorns.
Yeah, Longhorns. I was gonna say Bestigor. It was Longhorns because Longhorns had Pathfinder, Speed 6, Crush 1. They had a lot of inbuilt things. And then in 3, I think I fell on the what are they called? Forest Wardens, the elves, the elf Pathfinder Thunderous dudes. And again, I'm looking for a combination of high nerve, Speed 6, Pathfinder, and inbuilt Thunderous for crushing. Anyway, this is to say that like the idea of doing 30 unit strength and just like checkerboarding the world, you can't do that anymore. I guess you could take 12. I think your guys' channel was the first channel where when you did the like Northern Alliance one and you started, I think it was Northern Alliance.
Yeah.
Actually, how many shots? And I was like, God, they're breaking it already. And then the thing in my mind was like, you could start breaking it too. And I was like, no, you need to make varied lists. That's healthy for the game.
No, this is the time to like, crush your enemies and move forward, and then pretend that you're good at the game, and then go forward from there. Yeah. Sure as hell not going to happen for me. I'm just going to be like, here comes an army, and that's going to be about it. Yeah. I am noticing. Sorry,
I was going to say that long tangent about regiment spam is that like regiments. Part of the magic is that they were US 3. You had this weird like.
Yep.
You also had a bump on US 3, like spears. Remember, like
Uh-huh.
I think it's skeletons maybe. There's a few armies where if you pick up a spear, your unit strength goes up, and your attacks, and you have phalanx. And I was like, well, that's value. And then late 3-5, right? They dropped the points on spears. And I was like,
Oh yeah,
we've arrived.
yeah.
Army of Empire of Dust. Their spearmen at like 105 points or something dumb like that was just, it's ridiculous on what you got out of that sort of thing. And I mean, I know Adam Ballard has been preaching that forever, and I think we all missed that boat. It was for whatever reason, but my God, like just cheap, durable, fearless, which of course is everywhere at this point in time, really.
Yeah.
They weren't going to move. They were going to stick around. And if you wanted to put cav into them, they really didn't care. Flyers really didn't care. That was one thing I have noticed this time around is flyers don't seem to be as prevalent. Like maybe
They haven't got to the flyer spam list yet.
Well, this is true. I haven't seen John's new flying spam list, which is every
because I haven't seen the list yet.
I know,
but I will.
I think every flying unit is support. I think
so.
Hellstrikers are support, but they can become special.
Yeah.
We've not seen Drakon. There's no way they're not support.
They'll be support with the guy that goes to special. Yeah.
Soul Flayers, I think it's the exact same support with a dude that does the thing.
Yeah, they are support. Well, they're support in Twilightkin for sure.
Maybe that's. Anywho, so like we're seeing all these flying units. Oh, Alohi, we know their support. With Julius, will make them special. We heard that. So like, kind of across the board, we're seeing that. And I guess what would happen is you would have support, you'd get kicked down, and if you have like a Beast of Nature, assuming they exist, that would still be in support. So you're able to like double tap your slots.
Yes.
Right. I mean, that was a thought too, as I thought about the battalion system, is that like these dudes who switch stuff, like say Heart Piercers go to core, right?
Change the math pretty quick.
They're not still special. Like, so it does mean that my Trident Realm army, that'll probably be the army that I take to Dead of Winter, because it's the one that's like probably the most portable. Because I have heard Free Dwarfs and Trident Realm, so I'm probably gonna play Trident Realm. And so Heart Piercers become core. Awesome. I have 4 units of them. I don't really want to take 4 of them, but I also have Placoderms, and I also have like all my things are in the core slot, which is awkward because I don't really want to run 2 battalions. I don't know. I guess I could.
You don't have to. You can run it all as 1 battalion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can only take 4 core, right?
No.
There's no limit.
No.
Okay. Core unlimited.
There we go. Okay, I feel better then, because I was thinking that I'm basically being limited by everything packing into core.
No.
Okay, that's awesome.
Nope.
Great. Thanks.
It's only the everything else is limited. Core is you can take whatever you want, and you have to take 4 core to start a 2nd battalion.
Yeah.
So and then you have to take 2 more core. So you got to take 6 core before you can even open a 2nd battalion, right?
Gotcha.
But you can take as many core units as you want. So if I wanted to, I could hammer all the 10 pack hunters that we talked about into 1 battalion with 1 chimera, and then a bunch of the birds flying around, which may have been suggested to me by someone already as an alternate build for that. Just not that we've been workshopping it at all to start with, 1 million shots to see if shooting really is dead this edition.
Have you guys watched the new Death by Dragons game?
Yes.
Yeah, Goblins versus Ogres, and Steve Hildrew like blows people away with it, like shooting, and he's like, "Look, shooting's not dead." He did get some rules wrong. They did like kill some stuff without devastating them, so he was like, he still did kill stuff by capping it out and then blowing it up. But because he took like a bunch of bangets, a bunch of the insane trombones, they hit on 3s, right? If they stand still.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's funny because he even says that at the beginning of the thing. He's like, nobody's ever going to stand still with a trombone. And he's like, really?
Of course you are.
It's about 3 turns. Yeah. And yeah, I've got to finish watching that, but I'm part of the way through it, unfortunately. But yeah, I did get a chance to actually look at what he was bringing, and I was really interested in that. Mostly because of the amount of shooting that he was bringing and how shooting actually works, because he's kind of got an inside track on some of this stuff, it seems. I mean, if he's playing games and showing them on the interwebs, like, he must be ahead of the game a little bit, But he did say that he didn't have anything to do with the ogre guy. The stuff had dropped like that day, so he wrote the ogre army for the guy. So I'm not sure on what he knows and what he doesn't
Sounds
know.
like he
But
set himself up to win from the start. Then
I know it does sound that way, doesn't it? I mean, you can't trust the English. I mean, we're trying to take over the world yet again.
oh, we know.
Um, also in his game, so he had a single inspiring, just
Yeah.
Grunk, the new guy, who's awesome. That's such a great champ. I played champions also a little bit. I lost every game I've played. It's because when you charge, if you don't kill them, the enemy pushes back. So I lost every
Oh.
game because I would push them right and they flank me. I did it over and over, and I was just like, my Kings of War background means that I'm losing this game constantly, which is fine. That's cool. Anyway, one inspiring, but then the like lack of characters makes me wonder about Surge a lot. I think we're going to talk about Undead at some point.
Yeah.
I really wish we had seen EOD, because if the Monolith can still Surge, then they're the Surge faction. But because you need a Surge which is not tied to one of your like handful of unlocks, like your very small handful, and so that would totally do it. But I don't know that I believe that the Monolith will keep it. It's like its identity, but the portal change.
It will.
I think it's what it does. Like, it would be strange to take it away. You could give it like Drain Life or something. I mean, you combine it with the Soul Snare, but
I think they'll keep Surge on it. Look what they did to the Shrine and Riftforge. They doubled down on it being a lightning pillar, and now it just spits out a million lightnings. Yeah.
So it just surges twice.
See, they're totally fine. Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Or just surges with one less dice every time it casts Surge on a unit, just like the Shrine, right? Chain it around, just
awesome.
chain Surge, yeah.
Chain Surge, like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's right. Raising the Horde.
Real countdown of surges. Yeah, right? Nobody wants to see this.
Then we'll all go to Sesame Street and we'll visit the Count, and off we go. Yeah.
Oh, well, shall we begin?
Sure.
So the armies we have to go through today. First and foremost, we have the epic nerve check ones, because I figured if we're going to go through everyone's, we might as well show ours. So, Northern Alliance, the core, like I talked about, you have 4 choices: Tribesmen, Ice Naiads, Pack Hunters, and Clan Warriors. I think we agreed that all of those were good choices. But there's no cavalry, as Harry identified.
There never was, though, so that's fine.
The specialists, the Icekin Hunters, Berserkers, Hearthguard, Snow Trolls, Tundra Wolves, and the Varangur get their cavalry option. What was interesting when we went through the support was the Frostfang Cavalry can move into Specialist. So, and the Frost Claws remain support. I don't think there's any way the Frost Claws can move from support into Specialist.
Not that I remember, no.
And the Ice Elementals were confirmed to be melee 5 and shooting 4.
Which is so weird.
That is nuts. And I get they're the only shooting elementals, but are they? Flame elementals, I have to double check on that. I think they're only
they don't shoot. They don't shoot. Yeah.
So maybe that's why, but I still think it's bad.
But that means if they stand still, they're hitting on 3s.
And then you can surge them in, and they'll still get a few more wounds out of the 5s. So it all still kind of just levels out at 4 and 4, but it's weird.
It's weird. It is weird. The Cavern Drillers and the Frost Giants. I think with the points changed, I thought Frost Giants were better, but that's can be debated. Champions, I think across the board, where the champions have the Army Standard Bearer, which is a champion choice in every army I've seen, Harry, I think they're all pretty mediocre now because they took away the auras.
Yeah, I was just gonna confirm that at some point that they all seem bad. Every podcast has like slagged them for good reason.
Yeah. Well, they were. Some of them were good for a little bit with the auras they brought to the game, and then they took all the things that made them good away again. So they're back into bottom run for choice.
But they can come back. Like, that's something they can add.
They could change it again. Yeah, for sure.
Ice Queens, No Troll Prime. And then you have the Lords that we talked about. And I think most podcasts, Harry, how have they been treating the like generic lords that have been made into a unit choice. We thought the warlord lord choice for Northern Alliance was pretty underwhelming. We thought the individual choice for halflings was pretty underwhelming, where you had those characters and they're like now a warlord, but they're on foot. Across the board, have those been fairly underwhelming for the armies?
Yeah, I struggle to think of one that is particularly good. And I actually like the foot warlord as like an archetype, like the guy on foot leading the army. Like I like how it looks. I like the dude immersing his troops, but the game doesn't really reward it particularly strongly. Think of I like the abyssal guy, right? Who used to shoot lightning. He doesn't shoot lightning.
Oh yeah.
He's just a guy that takes up your warlord slot. So that was kind of a loss. You need something else to do while you walk around. And a lot of these dudes, the clan lord lost his pistols. So like if they had a shooting attack or support thing, they've lost it. So they're a guy on foot who does the cool order within, is it like 6 inches? 12 maybe? 12. So it's like right around him. So that's another bonus to being on something, is that you can go give it to whoever needs the order.
No, I think you might have been right the first time around. I think it is 6, but
it's
haven't
quite
really
short.
seen much. So
yeah,
no, I think command orders are. I think they're a 12-inch
are they 12?
range, but I could be very wrong. I don't remember very well.
All right, well let's move on.
So I think the only thing that was removed from Northern Alliance that actually is something is the Elf Clan Warriors.
Yeah, nobody took those anyways in Northern Alliance. It was weird.
Northern Alliance got off pretty light in that regard. And we haven't seen their full version yet because it won't come out till whenever their book is.
Well, I mean, Olaf was something. At least he would.
He was not never taken. Talonar's Vanguard was rarely taken in any of the Northern Alliance lists I saw, and that was just one of the formations that they all went away.
It's also we are predominantly tournament players that are trying to squeeze every last little thing that we can out of it. While still trying to make make our lists at least fun to play, because we're going to play these things 50 times. So
that's not true.
5 times,
or maybe just 3 after you've randomly rolled for a guy.
Squeezed every drop I could out of my list. That's all.
I have some more comments about Northern Alliance.
Yeah, okay.
It's also the first split, which I guess I'll talk about in a second. Like the Varanger thing. I was gonna say that speaking of value, like throttling all the value out of a list. So like this has a Snowtail Prime, and the Snowtail Prime is like Value City. That's
he's still pretty good. Yep.
I think he's still good. He went up a ton, right?
Everybody did though.
Yeah, the thing is that like it should cost a lot of points. So
he was very undercosted before. Yeah,
was like 115. So I think he's 165, maybe. I forget the number. And so like they're still good, but I think the idea that the days of chaffing with your hero is still around, but it's going to be a lot less.
It might be better at this point in time, depending, because a lot of these, like the primes still have a very high nerve. Like they almost have a regiment style nerve at this point. So
and they lost the extra wide nerve value, right? They lost the 3-point nerve swing, and now they're all just 1 point of nerve, which is massive for stuff like trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you see value picks getting hit, which is good. It should happen. I think this was also where weren't the birds like hilariously upcosted? I think it's
the birds
100 for the horde.
No, the math actually comes out after I ran it. The math actually comes out almost even because they actually lower the point cost on the birds as the base unit, but then they jack the shooting value up from 15 to 50. But they drop the base of the birds by like 30 points. So you net out relatively the same.
Yeah, for Free Dwarf, so we have those birds too. I never used the gun because the Free Dwarf gun is hot garbage.
It was bad, yeah.
It's the most random gun. And so then you can just focus on not worrying about shooting. Also, shooting is like a double nerf in this edition, right? Shooting does less, and it's very expensive. Like we're seeing so many increases. Or like the guns are gone, the lightning bolt's gone. Like there's literally less shooting, less incidental shooting, and more expensive focus shooting, and it does less. I know your goal, John, with the like 9 million shots was to show like Steve Hildrew, shooting's not gone.
It's
I
not
feel like
gone, but you gotta really commit to it now.
very unfriendly to it in like an over committal sort of way. But and then so Varanger, I mean, I guess I wasn't surprised. My brother plays Varanger, and Corey he plays Varanger, and my brother's reaction was I already miss my Draugr. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, there's so much infantry in this army. Why do you want another infantry choice?
Because
Like,
the Draugr were so cheap.
Yeah, I get it. They're cheap.
They're zombies.
They're
That's
just
it.
cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were like better zombies, right? Weren't they Def 3?
Yes. They were
Blah,
better
blah, blah.
zombies. Yeah.
Not as good as scarecrows, but as the zombie tiers, zombies are the worst of the zombies. So my
That's
brother
true, yeah.
is lamenting, like, I don't have that. I don't have my Magus. And it's like, just take an Ice Queen, dude.
Take
Like,
pack hunters.
yeah. And so Corey was like, I'm looking forward to making Ice Elementals and this and this. And I was like, there you go. I think the answer should be, I'm gonna make evil, naughty versions of Ice Elementals, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean,
that's more healthy too. The other one is you just don't do the army.
we all have armies that we'll use to make like several different armies out of. That's the whole point in doing these sorts of things, because we all spend a lot of money on this hobby, and then don't put the shit together and paint it, because that's a lot of time conservation.
Yeah.
However, it always does look good in the end. But
Agreed.
we should
Yeah.
get on to the halflings at this point.
That's right.
Halflings, the core
here's
infantry.
the look. Here's the look.
Well,
Listen, you cried about it last time. Let's just get through this.
Yeah,
So the core
so-
still has
Right.
brave spear spikes,
Right now.
halfling rifles,
And
lancers,
that-
stalwarts. It's fine.
and that's where I talked about, like, they have the cav choice, they have their infantry choice, they have a shooting choice. The specialists, they have their poachers, which are the alternate shooting. They have the trolls, and I think John's right. The trolls got better because you're missing the.
Oh, trolls got a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
And they went down in
And
points.
core.
So they went
Yes.
down in points. They lost the delta for waiver value. Trolls are better. Edge Grenadiers, Juggers, Wild Runners. But then you go into the support. The Edge Drakon Rider, I hope he comes out on the Mantic Vault, because A, he looks cool, and I would use him in that model, even in my elf list.
Yeah.
With the broken wing, because I'm an engineer, and screw you, Ben. The Harvester.
Fair.
And you have to skip the poor aeronauts. They have to add something else into the Mantic Vault, because the aeronauts are less good this edition. Volley gun, howitzer.
Yeah.
The Iron Beast is still. I still think the Iron Beast is really good, and the Swamp Belcher will be definitely part of my Forces of Abyss, puking his guts out.
Well,
Oh,
the
geez.
one weird thing about this was the fact that the Iron Beast didn't seem to have a 0 to 2 ratio. It was basically as many as you wanted, but I don't know how you're going to take a lot of these. But
Well, it's not as many as you want. You're still capped at 4 per battalion, but you could
Well,
take
that's
4 if you really wanted to now, which is
It's a lot of
tempting.
40 plus 46 shots, and every single 6 is blast 2. So, like,
It's
that would be a
tempting.
lot.
It is tempting.
On a defense 6 platform that's also unit strength 2, I mean, I haven't not thought about it.
With, like, your champion engineer providing Radiance of Life right behind it.
Yeah.
Because nothing bad could happen. The Sorcerer, like we talked about, Sorcerer Sergeant, I think across the board, across every army, the Sorcerer, the Wizards, I want to see how they work out with both the command and the magic. With the
Not
halflings,
knowing how it works yet is
makes it hard
slowing
to judge that
decisions
one.
down. Yeah.
The Sergeant is the generic most armies will drop. Greedy Guts will be interesting.
Seems really good.
Yeah,
The Gunnery Sergeant on Troll, though, is probably a high pick.
He does seem
Engineer.
fun. Yeah.
And then
Same
you have
with the engineer. The engineers are going to be high picks.
Yeah.
Overcosted, because all engineers are. But
Screw you. I'm skipping the page so we don't have to listen to your engineer commentary. Feastmaster making your poacher's core is a nice option. And then you have the muster captain, which is, I think, the weakest of the 4 choices. On winged allies is good. And then the special character. And the only thing that they lost was the formation. So halflings came out. If you have a halfling
Pretty
army
well.
third, you can play it in 4th.
all right, What have we got next here, mate?
Well, unless Harry has comments.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think halflings are the one that feels like the internal balance is maybe the worst. It's that you could just take the trolls as core.
So the way we've read the
Oh no,
small preview is you got to take 2 core and then a warlord, and then you can take the guy. Then you can take the trolls as core.
it was clarified that it is vaguely like warlord first. So
Ooh.
don't worry
So then you
about
can just take all trolls.
Trolls.
I hope
Ogres
that's
are
wrong.
coming back to the table.
I
No,
honestly hope that's wrong.
Countercharge
I don't believe
or
anything they say.
posted a sort of like or there was like a Mantic thing. Kyle P was answering questions and somebody asked that and Kyle P was like, it's not like the logic doesn't roll like you guys are thinking. It like unlocks sort of warlord first.
What we're thinking was read on something sent to us from Mantic, so
This
there
was-
may
this was-
be maybe a hot edit on the book when it comes out.
Yeah, maybe. I'm
Again-
happy for the
Oh,
clarification.
I'd be way happier if it works warlord first, because then you can make fun themed armies based on the warlord instead of having to take an actual core tax.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. You guys were the only podcast that ran the logic on having to choose the two from the
Maybe
normal.
we're the only one who read how to build an army.
Who
How dare you.
actually read how to put the whole thing together? Maybe.
I didn't read how many core units you can take. Anyway, halflings, you get this sort of internal balance problem. It's like the special character, her sorcery is so much better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why take the other one? And that hurts my brain. It's like Hrim. Hrim was an internal balance problem because Hrim is so much better than a normal
Yeah.
frost giant. Do not take a normal frost giant. Only take Hrim. But now because of the slots, that could be different. But like halflings seem to like kind of miss the mark on this. I'm not
Mostly, I
saying you
think-
should suffer with your core, but it's like just take trolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna take trolls. If that's how it
Halflings
works,
were
I
the-
am going to take trolls.
Halflings were the aura faction. Like they did things really well. I always thought there was something really, really well done about all that. Again, we're gonna have to wait and see what the rules say and how these things play and everything else. We know everybody's going to get an upgrade at some point in time, but these are the lists that we are playing with right now. So these are the lists. Anyway,
So next we go direct misfire, and they have both goblins and undead that they were able to show off
They
to the
did.
world.
yeah, they did both of these really well. I really do
Yeah.
enjoy listening to these guys.
Yes.
So for goblins, Luggett Gang, Rabble, Sharpsticks, Fleabag Riders. So you have your generic shooters, cav, infantry choices. Spitters are an auxiliary choice, which is neat. So you can't have full goblin armies with bows. Trolls, Fleabag Riders, Sniffs, Mob Beasts, and Chariots are specialist.
Right.
They have a metric ton of
Wow.
support choices.
Yeah.
Mincer mobs, all your artillery in the world, giant goblin slasher. And then you have your champions, which are your bang it. Like when the test game was run, did they use 2 battalions? Did Steve Hildrew
No.
use 2 battalions?
No.
Oh God, because I'm like, what can goblins do with 2 battalions and all their artillery choices in the world?
Well, this is the one army that may break that out. That one and possibly the undead, but again, we won't know until things get further on in. The fact they have so much support and so many champions, it does actually make the army feel like it has that much more to offer, even though it may or may not. Like I'd have to go back through and see what unlocks what and everything else, but I mean, I don't look at any of this and go, it's in the wrong spot. I look at a lot of maybe the war trombone, even though no God, I do not want them in specialists. I really don't, but I get where everything is. It's just going to be. I think this is going to be a harder army to put together than we think. And it's funny, Harry, because this is one of the armies I always thought that you should be playing. I thought that you would always kick out of this.
So I mean, there was a point where I was like, I need to make a Mantic army. So I started making goblins, and I stopped because I was like, I don't want to build all these goddamn goblins.
Yeah. It does have one.
That's what prevents most people from playing goblins.
Yep. The tricky
It
stuff
does
is
have one of the coolest looking models on the face of the planet with the Hayukin, the goblin doing the fireball from Street Fighter.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. It's also because Northeast doesn't really have a goblin player, bizarrely.
Not really, yeah.
I don't
We
think so.
don't-
Anyway, so I
We
was
have
gonna
one up here.
Yep. My
Maybe
comment
I'll
about
have to go evil and play goblins in this edition.
Well, I mean, you've got all these halflings that are the right size.
That's
So,
true. We do.
you know, it's not that, and they have trolls, and they use a lot of these things,
And a bunch of war
you could make
machines.
it work.
Yeah.
That war trombone could just be the old goddamn dragon in the in the wheelchair that you're just like zipping forward a little bit.
I would have actually. That's a not bad idea. I'm gonna have to look at what I have.
Just let
I
the
know.
dogs free as mobbies.
Yeah.
This is the first one I saw, the first preview. So this is where Caver Corps, that was cool. And also we learned that chariots are only regiments.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the
We'll
easiest.
see how that goes.
It's every other size of chariot causes play issues.
Well,
Or it's a troop, which is very
was
cool.
always balanced out with the fact that like a legion-sized chariot, sure you can get into the side of it, but my god, I hated those things. They just never died, you know. Anyway,
yeah,
so
yeah. Good.
But they only have 3 warlord choices. They have the bigot, king, and king on chariot. So they don't really have a lot of warlord choices.
Yeah, but you don't have to take any.
I think this might be the one army where you can sit with your champions. Where you have
Champions are
3,
way better
6,
value here.
You're sitting with 9 champions to choose from.
and
I don't know what
sure,
Grunk does, but Grony's still going to be good.
I don't
Kuzma
know
is
if-
still good.
Yeah. I
Troll
think
Bruisers will be good.
These still unlock things as well. So
that's so weird that Grony is not a warlord, but I don't think I'm wrong. I think Direct Misfire was so verbatim with their preview that it was really easy to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
kind of weird, but
if they're wrong, we're wrong, so it's their fault.
we're just gonna blame Australia.
But that's why we have their symbol in the top right hand
Exactly.
corner. So everyone knows exactly where we're taking the information from.
All right.
So goblins look cool. Undead,
This
when I
is
read
the
the
army I'm looking
preview,
at playing. So
it's like, here's my Abyssal Berserkers. They're going to now be werewolves. Everything is good in this.
Yeah, disgusting.
might actually happen. I mean, with the pagan shit you've got all over your bases, it still kind of works. So
So they have Reverence, Skeleton Warriors. Zombie Hordes is a neat touch. So zombie regiments are auxiliary, zombie hordes are core.
right.
Skeleton Archers, Cav. Again, this is the infantry, archers, and a Cav choice, core generic.
And you were right about the warriors being able to take spears.
Yeah, I was pretty sure.
So they can.
Yeah,
Ghouls,
they just got rid of the separate entry.
Specialists are Soul Reaver infantry, wraiths, werewolves, and zombie trolls. Support, this is a reasonable amount of support. Whites, Soul Reaver Cav, Balefire Catapults, and Gore Blights.
Ooh, Soul River Cavern support. That's
Yes.
a tough
However,
spot
I
for them.
think
Changed.
one of the
One can bump them to
I
specialist.
think one of them bumps it.
You can play all vamp if you want. You can
Yeah.
put Soul Reaver to core and do like infantry cav and then heroes.
Perfect.
I'm not sure if that would be good, though.
I don't think it's good. It's 8 models or something. 8 units.
That's not good. But it will be fun.
It'll be fine.
And you totally hit 2,000 points really quickly with that.
Right. Sorry, whites are the ones that use the large ones that used to fly, right?
Yes.
It's wraiths that are the Def 6 regiment fly guys that move.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
they're
always get the two of
specialists.
those mixed up. And I think I do think this is all like set up the way it should be. So
Yeah.
Which
Except for
is
the
this the
standard
one that
variables.
I heard that they have an order to remove shambling?
Yeah.
I think so. Yes.
So you could remove shambling from your whites so that they can fly at the double, and then the question I have is, would they benefit from the extra pivot that units get or not?
Well, I believe they do, but again, stuff
Probably
that we
baked
will have to
into
wait for the book, unfortunately.
Because if shambling units are listed as not being able to get the extra pivot because they specifically shamble, does that command order remove the shambling trait or only exempt them from it, but they keep the trait?
I can't remember exactly what they said, but I'm pretty sure it removes the
Because then if you've got
trait, allow
14-inch
them to
whites
do it.
with 2
But
pivots.
I think you only get one pivot if you're moving farther
At the double.
than at the
Yeah,
double.
but they would used to get no pivots before
Yeah.
if they went at the double. So then they can, scoot up this way and turn,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then be scary as shit for the next turn.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Not that I've thought about it.
You've thought about it. You and I are going to be talking about this a lot soon.
Yeah, not that I've thought about it a lot, but yeah. So continue. Yep.
Your champions are the Crypt. What's the Crypt Gorger champ? That was one of the new ones that looks like it's a ghoul champ.
It's the Ghoul champ.
The
Yeah.
revamped Ghoul champ. Yeah.
Yeah. There are minis for these guys too. Like
Yep.
it's this like kind of like thick dude with a shovel, and he has a casket on his back. It's from Vanguard.
Okay.
What?
Necromancer, Reverend King, Standard, and Lycanus. And Lycanus gives an aura, if I recall correctly.
I believe so. I can't remember what the aura is at this point in time.
It's Rally Flesh Feast, and Flesh Feast is ghouls,
A lot of
werewolves. The Goreblight is both. It has Flesh Feast and Decaying Horde. I don't know. I think it's called that.
Gorblade's got some funky 6 inches. It does something as well, I think, as well.
It unlocks zombie legions.
Yes.
It's the Goreblight, which is cool. That's pretty neat.
Now, there are a lot of warlords in the Undead with the Vampire Lord, Vampire and Pegasus, Vampire and Dragon, Reverend King, Lady Iona, Zunik, and the Barrow-Right. So, lots of choices. Please ignore the Skeleton Spearmen. They are still in there. But Mummies, Pharaoh, Lich King, all being removed makes me think that they're really trying to separate and distinct the Empire of Dust versus the Undead.
They're separating their wets and their dries like all good bakers do.
Right. The only thing that really kind of threw me off with Morgoth, and the fact that what the hell is his name? The one that makes everybody good.
Jarvis?
Jarvis is
Jarvis might be dead, but I heard Morgoth might come back. One of our guys who reads a lot of the lore, Erasmus, mentioned that he might be back.
Yeah, I think he
So
wrote that.
he might turn up again.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, we can see Jarvis being dead and coming back later as like a champion.
No, I mean Morgoth comes back.
Yeah, Morgoth as the when the Undead get their book specializing on their lore, Morgoth comes back to lead the army.
But I still think Jarvis might end up making he'll come back as an undead zombie of some sort. Somebody will raise him.
Was Jarvis an Ophidian?
Yes.
Possibly.
Not to bring in the O, but like I think he might be an Ophidian.
Why you gotta bring that up?
Okay.
Anyway, I was gonna say about Undead. It was super awesome to see them cut the dry Undead. That's like years in the making. I think audibly clapped when Morgoth was not in the list of units. I mean, what a solution! Because I was like, they're just gonna make him 350 points, but he's still gonna be really good. And I was like, he's gone. He's gone. Like he'll be back.
I think of all these special characters, he would be the hardest to try and get into this edition, just because of all the rules he used to have,
which was everything.
Which was quite literally everything. Yeah.
Yeah, Undead feel great. I think Undead have some of the more satisfying internal balance on these units. I know it's pre-expansion, but it has like things going on. Like look how little the Goblin. I didn't take a lot of notes on my first ones, but Goblins I just don't have a lot to report on. Ogres I have even less. Undead it's pretty rich despite being like pre-expansion. I think it's really satisfying. My brother and I are making a Flesh Feast army. I'll spoil it on this podcast. He kept wanting to make an army where he makes half and I make half and we put it together. Yep. So we're doing Flesh Feast because it's kind of limited. There's so many good ghoul models and like it's pretty decent. Werewolves are scary. Striders.
Don't worry, Harry. Only tens of people will know about this.
Oh no, I think the werewolf army is scary and phalanx doesn't work and terrain doesn't work. So like how do you deal with the werewolves? Yeah.
Well, I was lucked out when I said this might be mine. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, orcs.
No, ogres and salamanders as we go Tales from the Warrior's Hall. Now, it should be noted that salamanders are part of the invasion books. So the salamanders we're seeing are the like complete package. So them plus the halflings represent a finalized version of the army from a Mantic perspective. Ogres, Undead, Goblins, and Northern Alliance are not at this point in time. So for ogres, your core choices are really limited to boomers,
Yeah.
hunters, warriors. Your auxiliary is a lot. It's basically every type of goblin under the sun: red goblins, sharpsticks, spitters, sniffs, scouts. Specialists are your berserker braves, shooters, warrior chariots, and boomer chariots. But fear not, siege breakers are support, and maybe that means that they're going to be really good. Mammoth, goblin blaster, giant, red goblin slasher. I honestly thought siege breakers were going to be in specialists, so I'm surprised to see them in support.
So am I.
No, I'm not surprised.
So Grok, if you take Grok, he moves them to special.
Okay.
It's a specialist.
So you can still take
4.
points. Yeah.
Does anything move goblins from auxiliary into core?
That's the only move. I think the only one is I
I don't think
chariot.
anything moves them.
Warrior chariots can be core if you take the guy on the chariot.
So the old chariot army is still an option.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh shit.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I almost fell out of my chair.
Bear no.
Red Goblin Bigot, Berserker Bully, Boomer Sergeant, Standard Bearer, Warlock Sergeant. I don't know what the Arakama is, but hopefully that champion.
New character that
She's really
seemed like she's
good. Yeah.
I think ogres got off pretty
Yeah.
easy.
So do I. And
The
I
sad
think
thing is the crocodile. The crocodile wrangler's gone. They took it away. That's
Thank
that
God.
sucks. It was so good.
I
It
hated
was
that.
so bloody.
rule
If you
so
did
much.
not play with this thing, you were doing
Oh.
it wrong. That guy was amazing, and I hated him every time I saw him on the table.
It had its own little clever rule too, which I thought was fun. Like it could see through ogre units to be able to
Yeah.
and like charge through them. So I thought it was a fun unit, and I'm
I
sad.
thought
it's
it was
gone. Other than that,
overly
ogres will be ogres, and they're going to be built very similar to how they've been built recently after Siege Breakers got their Speed 5 nerf.
Yeah.
Yep.
So siege breakers were like buffed. So they're speed 5, but they're headstrong now and they're cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the output is the same output. Like the
Yes.
same
and they're
damage.
headstrong. Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so they gained
That might
headstrong
actually-
flow, but
If
Well,
we're
now you
right
don't have
about-
to take all the waiver mitigation stuff because you don't have to worry about waiver, and they're headstrong. So if you manage to shoot them hard enough to hurt them, then I guess they'll have got a chance at not caring. But Siege Breakers got buffed even just with the nerve change where you can't waiver them anymore.
Yeah. And like a nod to the future, hunters are very good.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
they're the same as they
Oh,
were,
they
except
would
they
be.
now slay D6.
Yep.
I think
It always
was
should have been
D3.
D6. I understood the
D3
D3
weird.
is the regiment, the
Oh.
troop, but I never understood why it didn't go up with the. I've always thought that they should have had some sort of like a thrown attack or something, but I'm wondering how this is all gonna come out in the wash, as it were.
Yeah. So, like I said, the more I saw stuff, the more I kind of respected the ogre list for being
Mhm.
just really simple to work with. The world didn't really change a lot for ogres. Like you said,
Ogres are going to be ogres.
I think ogres are still the ideal beginner army for anyone coming into
You're right.
Kings of War. You're looking for an army to begin with. You can't really go wrong with ogres, and see how it goes.
And they have decent models for these ones, especially the guys that didn't skip leg day. And yeah, we're going to reference
Yeah,
that.
the new ogres are really good.
they're really
They,
good.
they really do look nice. The one in the background here looks specifically nice with the sword out. I kind of really like that. Anyway, on to the
Matriarch.
Salamanders.
Salamanders.
We have the Getutech Warriors, Salamander Primes, Unblooded, and Lancers. So they're missing the
Ooh.
shooting option, but they have the Cav option. Ember Sprites are auxiliary specialists, the Hunters, Ceremony Guard, Ancients, Corsairs, Fire Elementals, and Tyrants. So that's where your shooting is, along with your large infantry style options. Support, Rhino Cav, Scorchrings, Greater Fire Elemental, Commodon, like Helidon, Slasher, and Phoenix. So I guess you can run lots of healing and big monsters if you want.
Oh, the Phoenix doesn't have heal
Good deal.
anymore. Phoenix no longer heals in Salamanders.
Well, that's good.
And one presumes in the other, but maybe not. I mean, maybe in Basileia they're healing because it's angelic. Or
Who
something.
knows? We also
Right?
don't
He's a-
know if
He's
they're
a
getting.
fancier bird.
The Battle Captain Herald. So standard champion choices: Warlords, Clan Lord, Lord on Drake, Firebrand, the Pale Rider,
Ooh,
And
what's
then-
right, bro?
And then
The
the
Pale Rider
Flamespitter-
got changed too, which was interesting.
Beastly.
Yeah.
So I think the Salamanders generally didn't lose much, and I'm curious as to how they continue to evolve into the fire faction, focusing on the fire elementals and the Salamanders as infantry.
Yeah, especially since they just got like upgraded as well with the fire. Wait a minute, where's the? Did I miss that? Where's the greater fire? You're still there. Sorry.
Support.
So I mean, it's all still possible, and they just all kind of got, here's all the extra fire shit that you can do with all of these things. The Commodons and Lychelodons were always really good, but the slashers I don't ever seem taken. But they make a model for
There's
them.
just
Why
better
not keep it
choices
going?
for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the fire elemental move the other fire elementals to core by any chance?
No, the Flame Spitter moves the fire
Ceremonial
elementals.
guard?
No, fire elementals from specialist to core.
Oh.
Yeah. So
So
there are a lot of swaps on this one. So here's the slot changers. Gekota Clutch Warden unlocks Gecko Legions. Clan Lord unlocks Ceremonial Guard to core.
Nice.
The Clan Lord on Fire Drake moves Rhinos to Specialist.
Okay.
There's more. Our Tackle, who's a champion, moves Hunters to core. I'm pretty hot for Hunters. Firebrand makes Corsairs core. And then Hrath Flamespitter makes Fire Elementals core. That's rad. This sounds
shit.
I was painting a Salamander army. I continue to paint a Salamander army.
So
it's really rad. Like, these rules are great.
So how can I take my halflings and make them
You can't.
salamanders?
The Goblins.
Gekota. They can be Gekota. Yeah. And then if you've got any trolls, you can paint them red and they can be fire elementals.
And the Grandpa Dragon is just a Commodon.
Yeah, there you go. See, Grandpa Dragon's in.
Okay, maybe there is something to this.
Yeah. Oh, we can find legs. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, I guess the Salamanders feel like
3 armies.
Well, it's really cool. Like, I look at this and this was the first expansion one I think we saw, and it felt really good to be like, all right, this is like a full list. 4 commands. Like, I have all this like building potential. I can make so many different lists, and it doesn't feel particularly broken because it's still Salamanders, so it's still going to be overcosted. It's still going to be kind of slow. Ultimately, Rhinos only move 8, right? Still, and like and we have Lancer Core, right? Yes, Lancer Core.
Yes.
That's great. It felt really good.
Great.
Well, I meant I'm painting.
I know what you meant. I know.
For me, because I really don't want to take primes.
No.
Like, we'll see what
or
happens.
unblooded. Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they are a hell of a lot cheaper than normal things, so at least they're there. But you don't have to, because they could just be fire
elementals. Yeah.
Fire elementals. All right.
Very cool.
which
Okay.
are really good.
That is everything.
Was that everything? There we go.
That's everything for tonight. Yeah.
Well,
And we pulled a lot of this information from Harry's summaries that he has posted, which we'll also throw a link to, or maybe do we have a slide we can put up?
No, I'll do that next time. I'm not that good. We'll put
Oh,
the link
come
in the
on. Do we have his like website at least that we can put up?
We'll put his.
I swear you sent me a page with his website on it. At least flash that for him.
Yeah. Okay.
It's gonna change my.
sorry, Harry. Just mention your website at least one more time.
Yes,
There it
it's
is.
blood-fire.com. I'm changing. Maybe my name will do.
There it is. Bloodfire.
Thank
There
you,
we are.
Bloodfire.
So you
I had
can
to have
see
it.
it.
Let's put it this way: if you're part of some of the chat groups that we frequent, I will be continually putting this up. The more that Harry puts up, just because he's doing some, as I said, God's work here. I mean, I'm a lazy son of a bitch, so if I don't have to do any of this, I am more than happy to steal somebody else's work.
I got you.
But you've done a great job here, mate. You've absolutely made things a lot easier. I know people listening to this will appreciate all the little tidbits that we've given and all the little extras that you've put out. But this has been a bit of a longer one for us. We normally don't go this long unless we're doing army reviews, which you have done for us.
Hey, you speak for yourself about how long you go. Come on now.
Hey, I'm pushing 50 and I'm going over an hour. What the fuck? I mean, this is not a bad thing. There was no pill involved in this one. So, with that being said, I'd like to thank you, Harry, for coming on one more time. And
Thank
we
you
would
all.
like to thank all of you for being one of the 10s. And we'll see you all again in the next one. Good night, people.